Sanders says this is a leadership moment and calls on the president to take bold actions to rein in spending. Cantor says House Republicans are taking on entitlement spending, even though it's politically risky because, quote, it's the right thing to do. Well, members of Congress are probably catching up on some Z's today after a grueling week of debate and a few workdays that stretched until 4 in the morning several times. But the latest Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll shows that 60% of Americans do not approve of the job that Congress is doing. Now, that poll was taken before all of these late-night debates this week, but still, why are those approval numbers so low? Let's check it out with our panel. Amos Snead, former press secretary for House Republican Whip Roy Blunt, and David Mercer, former deputy national finance director for the DNC. All right, Amos, burning the midnight oil a lot. I mean, this was primarily a Republican move. They have to get funding, which will expire March 4th, passed for this year just to get us through this fiscal year. They passed a budget that cut $61 billion in funding, a big victory for them. But some folks say it's just a bunch of shenanigans. They'll get to the Senate. It's going to die there. What do you make of it?
I think this is a monumental sea change of what's happening in Washington. They're talking about funding the government, but they're not talking about spending. They're talking about spending less. So I think they should be applauded for what they've done. And yes, it did take a while. They worked through the weekend because this was done in an open process. I mean, they ran through 600 some amendments. They had amendments from Republican members. They had amendments from Democratic members. It might not mean as much to you and I, but this is a complete 180 from where they were last year when you were ramming through health care bills, ramming through cap and trade. I think it's a great step in the right direction.
And David, we hear from people out there that they are frustrated with Congress. They think, they're not listening to them, that they're just printing and spending money here. So will this win any points outside of the GOP base, the major spending cuts they just came up with?
I don't think so. And we were reminded all of last year in 2010 by Republicans, where are jobs, where are jobs, where are jobs? And you now have to turn that question to the Republicans and ask, where are the jobs? And I don't see any legislation since the Republicans took over the majority in the House that speaks to providing more jobs and growth. And I might add that with the $61 billion in cuts, that's a drop in the bucket when you think in context of the $1 trillion in tax cut extensions that went to the top 2% of wage earners, of millionaires and billionaires. So we all got a long way to go in paying for the kinds of legislation that some of the Republicans have initiated from years past.
And of course, Amos, many in the GOP will argue that those tax cuts for top wage earners are small business owners and people who employ others. Is that where the jobs come in?
I think what you're going to see, this is February. They came here first and said, we heard the American people and we're going to cut spending. And that's one of the first steps they've taken. So I think this is, again, it's a great step. You're going to see more conversations about jobs. But first you have to stop the spending, which with this weekend's past work was a great step in that direction.
Okay, so still looming now, there will be battles over the 2012 budget. David, some say the president didn't put forth a serious budget. A lot of folks say, hey, he had to start somewhere because you have to negotiate with a contract. You don't come in with where you want to end up. How do you see this playing out on the Hill?
Just as you did in the latter part of your statement, that it is a first show of cards as to what he would like to see in maintaining both growth and innovation, as well as with cuts on spending, which he has, preferably he'd rather not, but has made some substantial cuts to those in our Democratic base. But nonetheless, it is a shared sacrifice, but also with growth, which we cannot forfeit if we're going to get ourselves out of the economic challenge that we're in now.
All right, David, Amos, thank you very much for debating a couple of hot topics for us. Great
to
see you both. All right, a local group is getting a lot of attention over its unusual choice of the brand new leader it just elected. We'll explain after this break.
Hard-hitting, award-winning journalists.
Easy to understand and on the money.
Getting more accolades and breaking more stories.
Some of the brightest minds here. People are paying a price across the board.
And they do not like tax hikes.
Rothman, Payne, McDonald, Sullivan, Fox Business Network, giving you the power to prosper.
Diabetes testing? It's all the same. Nothing changes.
Then try this. Freestyle Light Blood Glucose Test Strip.
Sure, but it's not gonna... Wow.
Yep, that's the patented Freestyle Zipwick design.
Did it just target the blood?
Yeah, drew it right in. The test starts fast. You need just a third the blood of one touch.
That is different. So Freestyle Light test strips make testing...
Easy?
Easy.
Great. Call or click. We'll send you strips and a meter free.
Free is good.
Freestyle Light test strips. Call or click today.
I just got a big fat check from ebates.com.
It's true.
Ebates.com pays you to shop online. It's simple. Join, shop, earn cash.
No hassles, no gimmicks.
And I get paid.
Just for shopping my favorite stores.
They send me checks.
Ebates paid me $1,041.
$316.
I've made $1,020.
Why wouldn't you?
It's free.
Everyone should shop this way.
Join free, get cash back. Ebates.com.
At Purina One, we want your dog to be as healthy as possible. So we set out to discover the science in some of nature's best ingredients. We created Purina One with Smart Blend. Delicious shredded morsels and crunchy bites with real meat, wholesome grains, and antioxidants. For strong muscles, vital energy, a healthy immune system, and a real difference in your dog. Purina One with Smart Blend. Discover what one can do.
Hey, Pete. Yeah, it's me, Big Brother. Put the remote down and listen.
This